Hi, welcome to my video on the review of the derivative of functions, the square root, cube root, reciprocal, and rationals. And this review, as in previous ones, you can mark it out of a score of 24, so give yourself a mark for each question and total up the marks on each page and total up each page and you'll get a score out of 24. Here we go. The review. Number 1, f of x equals the square root of x. Find the derivative f prime of x. Well, first we make the f of x into, that's x to the 1, and the square root means 2, so that's x to the 1/2. And change it to an exponent, and we use the exponent rule. And the exponent rule is f prime x is a half or 2, makes no difference. You take the half and multiply by 1 to get a half, and you decrease your exponent by 1. So that gives you a half. X 1/2 minus 1 is a negative a half, and that's 1/2. And x to the negative is 1 over x to the half, which is 1 over 2 root x. And we can go on and simplify this further if we wish by multiplying the top and the bottom by root x and having no root in the bottom, but we'll leave it like that. 3 marks, 1 for changing it, 1 for getting x to the negative a half, and 1 for that answer, 3. Find the equation of the tangent to x equals root x at x is 9. And again, this is y, so y prime is the derivative. The derivative of root x is 1 over 2 root x. Now we take the derivative and we got x is 9, so if x is 9, y prime is the derivative is 1 over 2 root 9, which is 1 over 2 times 3, which is 1/6. So the derivative is the slope of the tangent. So y prime is the derivative, slope of the tangent, so the slope of the tangent is 1/6. So now we need to find the point. So when x is 9, y equals root x. So y equals the root of 9. So the root of 9 is 3. So the point that the derivative is occurring at is 9, 3. So the equation of the tangent in the slope y-intercept form, y equals mx plus b. So this is x and this is y. So y is 3. The slope is 1/6. X is 9. And so 3 into 6 goes 2. 3 into 9 goes 3. So that's 3 over 2 plus b. Now I got two choices. I can move to 2/3 to the left and make it a negative, or I can multiply everything by 2. Multiplying by 2 eliminates the fractions in the equation. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 over 2 times 2 is 3. And 2 times b is 2b. That means 6 minus 3 equals 2b. So that means, let's go over here. That means that 3 equals 2b divided by 2. b is 3 over 2. So the equation is y equals mx plus b. So the slope is 1/6 x, and the y-intercept is 3 over 2. So that's the equation of the tangent. And there's 5 marks, so give yourself 1 mark here. And if you get 1/6 for the slope, give yourself a mark. If you get the point, give yourself a mark. If you get the y-intercept of 3 over 2, mark. If you got the equation, give yourself a mark. 5 marks altogether. Number 3, find f prime of 27 if the f of x equals x cube root of x squared. So again, we have to, since we know the exponent rule, so let's change the f of x. So this x moves in here, so that becomes the cube root of x cubed times x squared. So the cube root of x cubed is this x out here. So that's the f of x is equal to the cube root of x to the 5, because when you multiply exponentials, you add the exponents if they get the same base. So the f of x is equal to x, the cube root, so it's 5 over 3. Now that we have the exponent form, f prime x is the derivative, is 1 times 5 over 3 is 5 over 3, x to the 5 over 3 minus 1. And that becomes 5 over 3, and 5 over 3 take away 1 is 3 over 3, so it's a 2 over 3. So that's simplified. Now we want at f prime of 27. So the f prime of x is 27 is 5 over 3, 27 to the 2/3. And 27 to the 2/3 simplified. 27 is 3 cubed to the 2/3. 3's cancel out, they get 3 squared, so that gives us a 9. And 3 into 9 goes 3, so 5 times 3 is 15. So you get full marks if you have 15. If you have this step done, you get 1 mark. If you have this done, you get another mark. If you get the 15, you get a mark. 3 marks altogether. Add up. Total is, oh, look, I added up. No, just look, I added up and got 9. How I got 9 out of that, knowing all the math that I've done. Again, just one of those errors. That's marked out of 11, so I changed that at the beginning. Marked out of 11. So those little errors I have a tendency to do. That's why I don't get 100% on some of my quizzes. Find the equation of the tangent to y equals 1 over x to the 6th at x equals root 2. So again, let's change the y to 1 over x to the 6th is x to the negative 6. And we want to do the equation of the tangent is the slope of the tangent, which is the derivative. So y prime is negative 6 times 1 is negative 6. And we decrease the exponent by 1. So y prime is equal to negative 6x to the negative 7. So the derivative is done. So now we want to find at x equals root 2. I just decided to make it different. So the slope, the derivative is the slope of the tangent, so we'll sub in the root 2 in the place of x. So this is negative 6 times 1 over square root of 2 to the 7th. So root 2 to the 7th, that's square root is 2 to the 1/2. So that becomes 2 to the 7 over 2. So that's one way to do it. So 2 into 7 goes 3. So that's 2 to the 1/2 times 2 to the 6 over 2. So that's 2 to the half times 2 to the 3. So that's 8. 2 to the half is root 2. So that's negative 6 times 1 over 8 root 2. And I just want to do that another way. We got this square root of 2 to the 7th power. So if it's even, so if you did that 7 times, it's a long way to do it, but it works. There it is. So there's the 2 here, there's the 2 here, there's a 2 here, root 2, so that gives you 8 root 2. There's another way to do it. And so 2 into that goes negative 3, 2 into that goes 4, so that's negative 3 over, if you want to simplify that, that's 2 to the 7. Okay, so that's 4 root 2. Now, we have so that's the slope. So the slope is negative 3 over 4 root 2. So now we need to get the point. So if x is root 2, so y equals 1 over x to the 6th. So y equals 1 over root 2 to the 6th power. So the 6th power is, as you can see right here, there it is there, that's the 2 cubed. So that's 2 cubed, and that's 1/8. So this point is root 2, comma, 1/8. Now we need to get the equation. We have the point, we have the slope, so y equals mx plus b, and so x and y, and there's the slope, so y is 1/8. The slope is -3 for root 2, and x is root 2 plus b, so we simplify that, 1/8, and we get root 2, 4 over, okay, that's 4 over, I got a root 2 there. Okay, here we go. They cancel out. I get -3/4 plus b. I can multiply by 8 because it's the LCD, so I get a 1. 8 times 3 over 4 is -6. 8b. 1 plus 6 equals 8b. 7 equals 8b. So divide by 8, I get 7/8. So we have y equals mx plus b is the equation. The slope is -3 for root 2, and x and the b is 7/8. I could change this if I want. Multiply by root 2, so I can go -3 for root 2 times root 2 over root 2. If you don't want the radical at the bottom, so I get a -3 root 2. Root 2 times root 2 is 2. 4 times 2 is 8. X plus 7 root 2. So that's the equation of the tangent at root 2. So I did a root here just to make it a little bit more interesting in the math. Okay, and one more. Oh, I forgot to give the marks to that question. So this question got 6 marks. So if you changed it to here, you get a mark. If you did right to here and did your derivative correctly, and then you found your slope, that's 3 marks. And then you subbed it in and got your point, you get another mark. And if you worked out the value of b, 7/8, and you did the equation right, so 6 marks altogether. So you can put 6 for that page. And one more question to do. It's the derivative on the rational function. Find the derivative of f of x equals x plus 2 over x minus 1 by the definition of a derivative. And the definition of a derivative, well, first of all, well, we're going to look at the definition of a derivative. F prime x is equal to the limit as h approaches 0 of the f of x plus h minus the f of x over h. That's the definition of a derivative. And to make it easier, let's work out the x plus h. So right here, if you look at the f of x is this expression, x plus 2 over x minus 1. So the f of x plus h is x plus h plus 2 over x plus h minus 1. So I sub x plus h in the place of x right here. So that means that the derivative is the limit as h approaches 0 of x plus h is this expression here, so it's x plus h plus 2 over x plus h minus 1. Subtract the f of x, which is x plus 2, x minus 1 over h. Now, there's another way to do it, but we have to learn later on by the division rule. But we're doing the definition right now because we like to practice the math that we should know. And so let's expand this out. So the limit as h approaches 0. So the LCD is the LCD for, this is a complex fraction, so a quick way to do it is to multiply by the LCD. So the LCD is x minus 1 times x plus h minus 1. So that's the LCD. And this is a 1 here, so the LCD is the common denominator for all these fractions. So this is h over 1. So what we'll do, we'll take this LCD and multiply by each part of this expression. So we get x minus 1, x plus h minus 1 times this fraction, which is x plus h plus 2, x plus h minus 1, subtract, and now we'll do the this fraction, x plus 2, x minus 1, and the LCD, x minus 1 times x plus h minus 1, okay, all over h times x minus 1 times x plus h minus 1. So all this writing, what I did, I took the LCD and multiplied by this fraction, the LCD by this fraction, and the LCD by h. There it is. That means doing it this way, even though it takes longer to write out, all the denominators should cancel. So x plus h minus 1 cancels. So I have x minus 1 times x plus h plus 2. Subtract. And this denominator cancels out. So I get x plus 2 times x plus h minus 1. All over. There's no cancellation here, so I get h, x minus 1, x plus h, minus 1. So now I have to simplify this expression. Just take our time. So here we go. So I will multiply these two here. Then I'll multiply these two. And all over h times x minus 1, x plus h minus 1. So this is a FOIL method really. So it's the outside, x is multiplied by these three to give us x squared plus xh plus 2x. Negative 1 is multiplied by this trinomial to give us negative x minus h minus 2. Notice I left the subtraction last because bedmass we multiply first and subtract after. Now I'm going to multiply x by this trinomial to give us x squared plus xh minus x, and take the 2 and multiply by this trinomial to get 2x plus 2h minus 2. And we can add these together here if we want to, but okay, we should simplify the inside of that first. So we get an x squared plus xh plus x minus h minus 2. And here we get an x squared plus xh plus x plus 2h minus 2. So the only common terms here are these two x's here and these two here. And that's all over. And again, I'm a believer in doing one step at a time until you get really good at the math. So the limit as x approaches 0. So now I'm going to do the subtraction. So it's x squared plus xh plus x minus h minus 2. So that's that term, or this polynomial here. Now I'm going to subtract this polynomial, I could put a negative, make that a 1, multiply by negative 1 to just add on the inverse. So it's a negative x squared minus xh minus x minus 2h plus 2. So, and that's all over h times x minus 1, x plus h minus 1. So again, just a little bit of work, but it's good math. So the x squared minus x squared cancels out, xh plus minus cancels out, plus x minus x cancels out, minus 2 plus 2 cancels out. So that all comes out to negative h minus 2h is negative 3h all over h times x minus 1 times x plus h minus 1. And we can tell if we have it going okay, because the h's should cancel out. H cancels out here, so I get a negative 3 all over x minus 1, x plus h minus 1. And let's go up right here. So that's the limit as h approaches 0. And so now that I have this done, so I didn't mean, I wrote it down, but now I'm going to, h is approaching 0, so I get a negative 3 all over x minus 1, x plus 0 minus 1, and that comes out to be negative 3 all over x minus 1, x minus 1, which is a negative 3 over x minus 1 squared. So that's the derivative, excuse me, of this irrational function right here. And you're using the definition of a derivative, but later on we'll do what we call a quotient rule. And there's 9 marks for that. And the 9 marks will be distributed. If you have your definition, give yourself a mark. If you have that subbed in there, like, give yourself a mark. If you simplified all this to right here, you give yourself a mark. And if you multiplied, a mark. There's always a mark for each step. 6, 7, 8, and there's your 9. 9 total for that page. And when you add up, excuse me, when you add up all your pages, you should. And again, I had 2 extra marks, so I had it marked out of. I said 24, but I found 2 marks, 2 more marks, so it's marked out of 26. So whatever mark you have, divide 26 into your numerator, get a decimal, move it 2 places to the right, and get your percentage, and hopefully everything's going and you'll understand what you're doing. And if you like my video, click on the like button, subscribe button. Visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained. Just one word. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video helped you. Bye-bye.